Joey, a very controversial afternoon, your thoughts?
And it wasn't that kind of game. You know, both sides competing fairly. And unfortunately, somebody who was out of his depth in terms of what he could control. And he's ruined what was a really good, honest game of football.
Just talk us through the two sort of main incidents in terms of Ched Evans was shown the red card. Do you know what the reasoning was behind that?
I've actually seen the replay back in real time. I felt it was a foul on Ched. You know, the centre half ducked under him to try and shepherd him away from the ball. Ched goes over the top. Both of them land on the backs. And the referee deems that a straight red card. We're obviously incredibly disappointed because it puts us down to 10 men for 30 odd minutes. Gives them a huge advantage. So we must appeal it because it's a very, very unjust decision. And it's difficult thereafter to be complimentary about the officiating team because in my whole career, they're as bad as I've ever come across. That's as bad a refereeing and an officiating performance as I've ever seen in all my time in the game. That includes junior football. Really, really, really poor. Brett needs to have a serious look at his decision-making process today because, you know, the Bristol Rovers staff that were here, that we spoke to before the game, had concerns about him because he's been here and caused havoc before. And I think today, you know, you need a good referee to referee a very, very good game. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to do that.
Just to clarify as well, at the end there, were you sent off yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Joey. In terms of the actual game, you got in front. It was a great goal from Ash Hunter.
Yeah, fantastic strike from the little fella. He's, you know, been a constant thorn in the opposition side all season. Gives us the opportunity to go on and win a game of football, and you know we undo ourselves from a set play, which is disappointing. And then, you know, we're back to the wall for the rest of virtually the second half. Lads were first class, defended the box properly, and we almost got there, got within touching distance. You know, fair play to them. They kept knocking at the door, it hit the bar, hit the post, and they got, you know, a little bit of a deflection and falls straight into the path of their player, and Cairnsy's got no chance. So I'm not disappointed with the lads. They give everything they've got, and we dust ourselves down and look forward to a tough fixture against Doncaster at home on Wednesday.
Yeah, certainly you must take a lot from the fact that, particularly when you went down to 10 men, you were put under considerable pressure, and the lads really stood up to that.
Yeah, 11 against 11. We knew it was going to be a very, very competitive fixture. 10 against 11 doesn't help, and you know, at times it definitely felt like it was a lot more than 11 in that respect. And I have to be careful not to say anything because you know, we all know the ramifications of telling people exactly what you think of officials. So yeah, look, I hopefully never see those guys again because, as I say, you know, good football matches, refereed in the correct spirit and officiated in the correct spirit, are great to be part of. Today, that's a horrible part of football. But you know, the game didn't warrant what he's ended up doing, but maybe, you know, he wanted to come here and send Ched Evans off and tell Joey Barton, and you know, maybe he's had that in his mind, and you know, now he can go away and tell his kids and his grandkids that, you know, he's been able to do that. So, you know, if that's a highlight for him, then fantastic. But as I say, hopefully we never see him refereeing again, in my opinion, in this league, in that kind of game, because he was, in my opinion, in way above his head.
In terms of Ched's red card, will you be appealing that?
Without a shadow of a doubt. If anything, it's a foul on Ched. So as I say, you know, the mind boggles, and I have to be very, very careful what I thought or what I think about that incident, because the first half, any slight contact between Ched and their centre forward, Ched was penalised. You know, maybe he's come here with a certain picture of Ched in his mind, but that isn't Ched as a lad. Ched's a good, honest lad, works hard. Yeah, he's been very, very unfairly treated at certain parts of his journey, but you've got to let the lad get on and play football. They were two lads going to compete for the ball, and that is never, ever a red card, and we must appeal it because it's an incredibly unjust decision. Not only have we lost the game, but we lose a great player for us for a number of matches, and that's just wrong.
Given this time of the year
if we
now,
can, nothing else about the red cards.
Yeah,
we'll
no
move
problem.
on from that.
Yeah, cool.
Thanks.
Given this time of the year now, Joey, of course, a lot of games coming, 2 home games now on the trot, and obviously Portsmouth have come, but a big game on Boxing Day first of all.
They all are. Certainly at home. Obviously today was no different. We were keen to approach the game like everything depends on it, because for us, that's our group. That's the way they approach games. So I said to the lads in the dressing room after the game there, football is a cruel game. You don't always get out of it what you put in on the day, but over the course of 46 games you do. And if we keep turning up, we rally round one of our players wrongly sent from the pitch in our opinion, and we rally round in that manner and defend in that manner. You can see we're a proper team. We've been down to 10 men before at Bradford when Wes Burns was sent off and managed to win the game, and I thought we were well worth a point based on the resilience that we showed. And it's virtually the last kick of the game, and it's a bitter pill to swallow, but we've usually responded fantastically well from disappointments, and we get a great opportunity to do that in 3 days' time.
And just one final one, obviously quick turnaround now. What's the preparation ahead of the game on Boxing Day?
Again, we've obviously got to get ourselves up the road, get ourselves back rested and recovered, and fill the energy tanks ready to go and perform as best we can in front of our fans. I mean, we're on a great run at home. Boxing Day is a great fixture for the football fan, and I reckon if the game was kicking off in 10 minutes, I think our lads are ready to go. We've got some exhausted bodies in there due to the shift they put in, but when you feel like we do in that dressing room, you're just looking forward to the next encounter. So it'll take a bit of time to get over it for me, because there's nothing worse than losing games of football. It is a disappointing part of it, but it is always how you respond, and we've responded fantastically well this season, and I expect the same on Wednesday.